What brings you back into these?
Wait a minute. Oh, no.
Oh, God. Pieces of just fluorescent light bulb.
So a little backstory. This is June 2005. Me and the TPG had been feuding at the time. He had won our previous match. The following month, he had a ladder match with Evan, and I had ran in and laid him out with a kendo stick and then forced him to watch as Evan picked up the win. And that left a huge welt on TPG's back, so I got him fired up and had him cut a promo, and TPG didn't cut promos often. So the fact that I was giving him mic time just kind of showed that, like, hey, I'm putting a lot of faith in you. You know, let's really make this feud as great as it can be. I can't be the only one on the mic. Here you go. But TPG was a little slow, and I knew I was basically going to have to play mind games with him and kind of manipulate him a little in order to get a great feud out of him, because he just, God bless him, but, you know, he had some shortcomings. And I needed to kind of use that to my advantage. And I knew how his mind worked. I knew how he thought. And I kind of had to take advantage of that if I was going to make this feud, you know, anything worth watching. So before this promo, I'm telling him, like, hey, look, you can challenge me to whatever match you want. It can be a first blood match. It can be anything. Any match you want, even if it's first blood match, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm leaving it up to you what match you want us to have next. Even if it's a first blood match, I'll do it. Well, of course, now that I've said first blood match, all he can think is,
next week, you and me, first blood match, anything goes.
And so now this is the match. This is the main event of this show. It's me and TPG in a first blood match. And spoilers, I'm going to get my win back. And knowing how TPG's brain works, when we were going over the finish for this match, I was just like, well, you know, you won the last match. I think it's only fair that I win this match. And he just kind of went, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And so I basically had to, like, trick him into losing a first blood match, because I knew I needed to win this feud, because afterwards I'm going on to chase the underground title and go after Evan. So this whole feud is to kind of get me ready for that, and then this is the blow off to the feud. And so I need to win this feud. And TPG in the past has had a bit of an ego, and he wouldn't always do what was best for business and wouldn't always do what was asked of him, which is why unfortunately he became a jobber for so long, because we were just like, okay, well, we can't push you because then you don't want to do what we're asking you to do. So he ended up becoming a jobber for most of his career because of that. And here, this whole feud, it's like, okay, well, if you're a jobber, it doesn't mean anything when I beat you, because everyone beats you. So I needed to build him up during this feud, make him seem credible, so that way it actually matters when I get my hand raised. So this whole feud, I had my work cut out for me. It was kind of an uphill battle. But the thing with TPG is he was malleable. You know, some bitch was 150 pounds soaking wet. You could do anything to this guy. But you're gonna have to drive. You're gonna have to carry him, because if you put him behind the wheel, he's gonna copy John Cena. He's gonna hit 5-knuckle shuffles. He's gonna be like, you can't see me, and it's gonna suck. So you have to basically be the one calling the shots here. So just like with our previous match, I'm gonna be telling TPG every single thing to do. I'm gonna say, do this, do this, do this, duck this, hit me with this. You know, we were a tag team. We had broken up, and so psychologically my reasoning was, oh, well, we used to be a tag team. That's why he's such a credible threat to me, because who knows you better than your tag team partner? And the fact that we were a tag team just means that, you know, he kind of knows my moveset in and out. He knows my psychology in and out, and he's able to use that to his advantage. You know, that was storyline reasoning. That was my justification for how this jobber is now all of a sudden a credible threat to me. You know, and we're working our asses off here. We're going to have some problems in this match, as you'll see. But right here, I'm going to have him give me an enziguri. He whiffs. He totally fucking whiffs, but I sell it anyway, and I have that long hair, so it kind of looks like he hit me, but he totally fucking whiffed me on that. You know, I was always somebody where I'm just like, hey, I would rather you make contact then it looked like shit. Like, I didn't care if you hit me. Like, don't take my fucking head off. Like, pull your punches, god damn it. But at least make contact. Like, I don't want my shit to look terrible on camera, you know? So that was why I worked so well with RCW. You know, I think that's why they put their belt on me and I was RCW champion, because that was my mindset. And I'm just like, I don't give a shit if I get hit for real. I just want it to look cool. Bam, there you go. He's going to give me a big suplex. You know, this ground don't have any give to it. The grass ain't that soft, you know, so a lot of these bumps, they really took their toll on us, you know. So even something like a suplex like that, which is a basic ass move, still fucking hurt. Bam, running neck breaker, best move in his arsenal by far. Easily the coolest move he ever did. You know, he should be thanking Kid Crush for teaching him that. But yeah, look, he was going to go for a fucking twist of fate. He was going to go for the fucking twist of fate. And I was like, no, you are not hitting a goddamn twist of fate as a regular ass move 5 minutes into this match. So I put him in a full Nelson. And then I turn the full Nelson. I try and do a cattle mutilation, but he won't get flat. So it doesn't really work. And then we did this spot in our previous match where he reverses the cattle mutilation, I reverse it. And so we're bringing it kind of back here, but I'm going to try and switch it up a little. We wanted to do callbacks to our previous match because, you know, that was kind of the whole point of this feud. We wanted to build on everything we were doing and have everything have a consequence. This is going to lead to this, which will lead to this. Again, I would do this like inverted neck breaker. I think Chris Daniels was doing this, the last rites, you know, and I would do this a lot. But fuck, TPG just, God bless him, but he fucking sucked. And he kept botching these. You know, if you watch a lot of these videos with TPG in it, you know, you'll see he botches a lot. He botches a lot. But since he's so goddamn lightweight, you can manhandle him and toss him around and powerhouse him, and you know, it is possible to get a match out of TPG, but he's not going to help you. You're going to have to do all the work, basically. Right here, I wallop him with this no parking sign, wham, and if we look, I fucking dented that shit on his fucking head. We didn't know what CTE was at the time. Everybody did shit like this. You know, but again, this is a first blood match. I'm trying to be as brutal as possible because, you know, one of us has to bleed. Bam, DDT on the no parking sign. All right, there's got to be violence in this. This is the blow off. This is the end of our feud, and it's a first blood match. It's got to be violent. It's got to be brutal, you know. But unfortunately, you know, we don't have a lot of weapons to work with. You know, I don't think I had a car at the time, so we all just walked to this park. So we're kind of limited. Like, the only weapons we can bring are what we can carry. You know, so again, he fucking whiffs with the kendo stick. Like, bro, what are you doing? And then, bam. I did a gourd buster similar to that in our previous match. Here, I flipped him upside down, turned it into a slam. It's on its way to becoming my new spine splitter finisher. Like, it's on its way there. It's not quite there yet. You know, but this kendo stick is one of the few weapons we have, and so we're trying to utilize this. You know, we had kendo sticks in the previous match. We barely used them. I wanted to make up for that here, and so I'm trying to use the kendo stick more. But we're real limited on what we have. You know, during the glory days of CCW, when we had the audience, we call that the live era. You know, we could Poe was everybody's ride, and so we'd load up his trunk with light tubes and steel chairs and trash cans and whatever else we needed, and we would have all these weapons at our disposal. Here, it's what we can carry, and then there was a hardware store down the street, so if we had money, we could buy stuff on the way to the park, you know. But we had to make do with what we had, you know. This is a first blood match. I think the only reason we made it a first blood match is because we had never done one before, and we needed some kind of stipulation for the blow off, and we're like, well, we obviously can't do a steel cage, so what kind of match are we going to do for the blow off? And so first blood seemed like something we could do. And then right here, this was something we actually practiced. I figured out TPG is so light. If I do all the work, I can have him hit a Canadian Destroyer. That's right, we hit a fucking Canadian Destroyer in 2005. Petey Williams was doing his thing in TNA at this point. You know, the Canadian Destroyer. Nowadays, it's so fucking overused. Like, every goddamn AEW match, there's a fucking Canadian Destroyer and people kick out. But back here in 2005, this was a sight to behold. It was fucking spectacular. And so we're trying to protect it here. We're like, this is a cool-ass move, but it's not the finish. So we got to sell our asses off. We got to protect this move. We cannot fucking kill this. You know, we got to keep this move impactful, you know? I wish AEW would do that. But then here we're throwing fisticuffs. Again, TPG, like, it's like, bro, get on the offense. Throw fisticuffs. Drop an elbow. Do something. Don't just stand there and whiff. Come on, man. And bam, I'm going to hit him. That was supposed to be like a Blue Thunder driver. But the thing with TPG is a lot of times he would sandbag you. And if he would jump, his timing would be off. So even though he's light as hell, you know, goddamn sumbitch wouldn't help you most of the time. Right here, I wish the camera was closer because I'm going to hit that trip to oblivion into a fucking tree. You know, I'd get him like I'm going to do like a fall away slam, but then I'd swing his legs out almost like an F5 and slam him on his front. Well, here I slammed him into the tree, you know, and that hurts. The tree don't have no fucking give to it, and I wish the camera angle was better because I know he felt that. I know he took that like right on his hip because I'm like, well, if I hit you above your hip, that's gonna hit like your internal organs. That's bad. So I had to swing him so that way like his hip and his thigh like hit the tree. But I wish the camera angle was better on that. That was a running problem we had, was fucking bad camera angles sometimes. And then am I going for swinging neck breaker? He actually took that one pretty well. Goddamn, good job, TPG. You know, TPG had a lot of potential. He was very malleable. You know, if I don't want to say if he was smarter, but if he had a clearer head. Oh, right here. So right here, the camera is running out of tape. This is back in the days of tape. So Xavier Lascano right there is telling me there's 2 minutes left on the tape. And we still have so much to do in our match. And it's like, fuck, we only have 2 minutes left in the tape. So we're basically going to have to like rush the end of our match and cram, 7 minutes into a 2 minute capsule. So right here, bam, I'm gonna hit TPG with his own finish, the Axel, but then he can't even sell it the way he needs to because now he's got to hit me with my finisher, bam, and then I can't even sell that the way I need to because there's a minute and a half left in the match. We have to hurry. So I'm telling him to get the light tubes because we actually bought light tubes at the hardware store down the street. And this shot is so beautiful. Bam! I love the glass flying at the camera. But if you watch, I got to get my arms out of the way because I can't get cut. I need to win this match. So now I'm going to have a light tube. I'm going to throw it down. And again, we can't sell anything. We're having to fucking hurry to get to the end of this match. And I'm like, hurry, hurry. We're running out of tape. Come on, get up. So we're just having to no-sell everything. And I'm going to hit him with my finisher. Bare back on the light tubes. I didn't go down with it because I was worried I was going to get cut. And then he's not even fucking bleeding. And I'm like, no, he's supposed to bleed. So I like grab a shard of glass tube and I'm trying to carve up his back just to add to the brutality. But some bitch, how does he not get cut off of that? But then if we looked, thank God, with 5 seconds left on the tape, we notice his arm is bleeding. And the announcer's like, he's bleeding. He's bleeding. But that's it. That's our first blood match. We had to rush the goddamn finish because we were running out of tape. But we managed to pull it off. It's nowhere near as good as our previous match. But this whole feud with TPG is making chicken salad out of chicken shit. And I think that's what we did here.